What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we will be looking at Malta Vibes Knockout Series 1. And if you didn't see my last episode of HLTV Fantasy, this is now the second part of the Fantasy Fall Season 2021, where the winner will get $10,000. So, yeah, this is the second event in this Fantasy Fall Season. We already did our picks for groups A and B of the EPL, and now we have this event here. I was kind of looking at how it's structured. So I believe all the teams that are competing in the event are listed here. All of these, plus all of the invited teams, if I'm not mistaken. So first stage, I believe the winners of once you win 2 of the matches, you get through, and then if you get through, you get into this bracket where there's always going to be an invited team and a not invited team playing each other. This is a bit annoying because I have no way of knowing where these invited teams will be seeded, I don't think. You can check. Maybe there's a Liquipedia page for this. I believe this is... Okay, so this tells us which teams are invited, but... No, where's... This... Yeah, okay, so there's a round of 16. This is just structured differently. We already know some of the teams that are like invited here, like ENS, and you are able to pick them. But for example, if I was to pick Entropic and ENS, and Entropic comes in here and ENS comes in here, that's kind of stupid. Because I have no way of getting even to the semifinals with both of my main teams. So it's a bit annoying from fantasy point of view because it's kind of random who is going to play who in stage 2. The invited teams for stage 2 are Entropic, Force, Skade, Endpoint, Oplano, Sprout, and one more should be here. Yeah, Team 1. That's all of the stage 2 invites. And the rest of the teams have to play each other in stage 1. And it's all through the event. It's just single elimination. Every match is an elimination match. I'm still trying to find out if there's a way for us to see where these invited teams have been seeded. Like which team is playing here. Maybe go Malta Vibes. Knockout. Oops. Sorry, always my mic is always in the way a bit when I'm typing while making these videos. This is in Finnish. But I don't think... Oh, this doesn't say anything. Otteluohjelma. All the same page, I think. Trying to just find out any kind of information. This is the HLTV page. Doesn't really help us out either. When is this event? When can I have 2 days? I kind of have to make it today. I was kind of thinking of maybe not making the video today and making it later, but I don't think I have time. If it was like 5 days or so, I may have had time. Oh yeah, this is something I never actually checked, but you do get some stuff even if you even by just placing well in one of the singular events. So it's not replacing, like the 10 grand isn't replacing the prizes for fantasy totally. So that's nice as well. Even though this is not like the best cases, I don't think. Or like prices, I don't know what these cases are worth, but either way. Damn it, it would be so nice to know, like, for example, the invited teams on this side of the bracket and this side of the bracket. I'm probably just gonna go for invited teams here. these do get nice padding. Or like, they don't get padding, I mean, so they can do quite well. Be like, I mean, Fiend could do very well. I don't know about Gorillas. I mean, they haven't played that much, and now they have two totally new players in HS and Richie coming in for this event at least. And Biga and Onyx. I'm trying to find like teams that I think could make a deeper run, even though they're not invited directly to stage 2. I think Fiend is definitely a good option there. Fiend isn't that picked except for Bubble. How expensive is Bubble here? Okay, Bubble's not very expensive. We could go, I mean, players just in general in this event, I was looking at them, like Hades and Spink, super expensive. Alien at 250. All Entropic players above 2k. I mean 200k. Players are kind of expensive in this one. But I think Bubble kind of has to be a pick. Because he's definitely, like his team definitely could make it through. I might pick another player out of Fiend, but for now I'll just pick players who I think I'll definitely want. Bubble's one of them. Which other team could make it deep in out of the first stage? Whistler is decent. I don't know. Gorillas could make a surprise run. I think one win could do good. I don't know how this seeding goes again once we get into the second stage. There's no way to know. But I mean, how expensive is someone like Deco from one win? 245. Yeah, he's super expensive. I might just go for invited teams and Fiend, or at least one invited team. I think Ens could do super well. Someone like Doto is performing quite nicely lately. I think that makes sense, these two. Probably go for another Fiend player. Victory is a lot less expensive than others. What is up with their, like, let's say last 3 month stats? A bit lower. Last month. They have played in the last month. Dreamer last month. Ooh, exceptional last month. Or 3 months as well. We could pick Dreamer. Oh, I want to actually check the others as well. That could be our, like, expensive guy. It could be a Harn as well. Harn, oh wow, that's not very convincing. What about Red Star then? Also not that convincing, but I mean Dreamer seems to be someone who we could consider. Then probably another Ens guy and then someone less expensive. So if we go Dicha that can definitely light up a server. We have Hooksy from the Flames. Flames was in this stage and they are which side? So they're also this side of the bracket. I don't know how much it matters. Possible to say, I guess. ZTR is an option. Basso. He's very inexpensive, which is always... You always want to see that. I've heard the name Basso before. He's just had... It would seem a very rough time at it lately. I don't know how good he is, or I've never seen him play, so tough to say anything. How expensive were the Gorillas guys? Although, I mean, if I'm going Gorillas, then I'm not going Fiend. But I think I'm going Fiend. Out of interest, I want to check how expensive the Gorillas guys were. They already go past them? No, they're here. HS 198, Richie 233. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that interested in picking gorillas for this. Diha. I do like Diha. What about if we go Snappy instead? Who can we get as our last guy? Mighty Max. Weapon 193. 194. Manx from Vikings. There's not that many great options, I don't think. For 193, 194. I would rather probably go Diha and then someone more expensive. We have an Oper now. We don't. Hades, but I don't think we can ever get Hades. Wait, why do we have Red Star? I want to have Victor in. I mean Dreamer in here either way. I'll never have the cash for both of them. But I do want an Oper, like a main Op. Hades, Doto, Bubble. I guess you could go like one Fiend only, and then 2 from another. So 3, 8, 2. Do we have some like players who are not that expensive but could do well here? I don't know. Like I'm trying to see like 2 players from the same team. It's very hard, this one, I think, because there's so many, like there's a lot of options, but a lot of the options are more expensive than one might think. Like there's not a lot of players who are inexpensive who I would like to pick. Maybe Hades is not the pick. Maybe go Diha and then Oper and someone else from another team. So like Crucial is the Oper here, but you can't quite get Crucial and Mighty Max. We had exactly 200 grand. Yeah, that could have been definitely a cool pick here. I don't think. Yeah, they are already invited as well. And I do think Fiend could be a nice pick, but then I can't go. Then it's tough to go Diha. Then I don't have main op. But how do rolls go if we don't have main op? Is it a disaster roll-wise? It kind of is, isn't it? There's not even like support players. IGL, there's not that many great headshot players. Could go multi-kill Dreamer, definitely. Maybe E-rating Disha, maybe. Headshots, Doto. Bubble. I don't know, IGL maybe. And then last one, someone. Something else. I guess last one we should look at who our last player would be if we go for this. Didn't I have someone good? I thought I had. Is this a different team now? Oh yeah, I had Red Star earlier, so I guess I can't get whoever I was looking at back then. Okay, I don't think this is the team then. Damn, Dreamer. I do like Bubble Dreamer. Maybe it's not even ends. Alien is. I don't think he's even an option. I'm not that interested in Skade. Mighty Max Crucial combo. Good work. 184 now. And we can get some decent players for that. Keyword being like decent. I'll have endpoint done lately. Word number 26. Eating ends here. Good. I mean, obviously there's been a player break. I haven't played that much. I mean, before the break they were good, and I don't see why they wouldn't be good now as well. Mighty Max is not the greatest player, but you need to pick some of these not that highly rated players as well. Crucial, Dreamer, Bubble, Mighty Max. And K23 is just not one of my favorites for this. Was K23 invited for this, or... No, they're actually playing here. That's kind of better. They get 2 quote-unquote easy matchups. At least should get 2 easy matchups. They are still in the top 30. Adren can be fine. What about Ago? Ago were probably invited, so I wouldn't pick them. This is not a bad lineup. At least not necessarily. This could be good. I'll actually take a print screen of this. And just to remember it, but I want to try out a couple new things. Or different things rather. I don't think Alien makes sense, but Hades Doto. Let's try this base, and then Bubble, and then 2 players from somewhere else. Can't get like Mighty Max Crucial, but you could get Mighty Max Surreal apparently. I don't know about that. I mean, it's not that horrible, I guess. Who else could we like gamble on a bit? I mean, the Young Ninjas have been not that bad, right? They're not bad. But a bit of fluctuation, you could say. Not interested in many of these teams, really. Like, I know they all have some potential, but it's very inconsistent, and I don't want to gamble on these teams. I think teams that I have no real I haven't seen play that much. So Doto makes sense to me, and Hades as well. He can really do a lot of work, and it's not that expensive to me. How was Hades towards the end of, like, before the player break? Just as good. I mean, this is with like, yeah, a very low amount of games. I wouldn't put too much. Wait, that's not even on ends. He was playing on some kind of mixed team, just for fun, I guess. I wouldn't put much. I wouldn't take that for anything, really. I mean, Mighty Max Surreal. Honestly, probably the best option if you want to go for something else. So how does this go role-wise then? Hades main op. Doto headshots probably. Don't have an entry guy really. No, nor do we have like multi-kill. Probably Mighty Max IGL, Surreal. It could be Mighty Max like support, Surreal, IGL. And then CT rating Bubble. Because he has like decent CT rating. So how do we compare this to our earlier one? Here, Bubble, Dreamer, Crucial, Mighty Max, Adren. So we have Dreamer, Adren instead of, or Doto, Hades instead of Dreamer, Adren. And then we have Crucial in Surreal instead of Crucial. I was already thinking that was way too good, but yeah, okay. I do like Bubble. I just want to reinstate. I think he's a good pick for this. What are the most picked players? Snappy, ZTR, Hades, Bubble, Black, Adren, Disha, Crad. Yeah, these are the players I've been kind of bouncing around to mostly. I wouldn't pick ZTR personally. Okay, I mean, this is a very low sample size. This fantasy just dropped, so should I put some faith in the Ends guys? Here we had like one K23. I don't have much faith in K23 for some reason. I think these teams could definitely make it. I'm gonna go with this. Hades, Dodo, Bubble, Mighty Max, Surreal. Roll-wise, not the best, but this is a very good roll at least. What do you have here? 16. What is this first percentage? 77% of matches. Ah, big and small average. Big, small, average trade rate. Figure rate. Okay. What about... Yeah, headshots. Usually you get at least average. Rarely you get the penalty. Multi-fragger, a bit riskier, but you can get a lot more points. What about... I like that. I like this role assigning things. I wouldn't put much to this. I'm only picking teams who I think are gonna do well. CT rating, not that good for him actually. Headshot machine. Multi-fragger. Emperor. So usually this is a very safe one, you could say. But I think you want to go for these riskier picks in this, usually. Headshot machine kind of works on bubble, apparently. Mighty Max support. Season 30. Let's see if there's any other roles where he's, I mean, except for IGL. Yeah, 30% and like only 1% of time support rounds, not that high. Then attacker. This is probably our IGL. Yeah. So then we need roles for Doto Bubble. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that we should go headshots, as I was kind of suspecting, and then for Bubble, this is not that great. Let's see the total percentage, 78%. I mean, Entry Fragger has a higher percentage, and he also, even for the big one, without this difference. Oh, you don't want to go noob. Okay, so you go Entry Fragger. I would have gone CT rating probably, but entry is just statistically better for him. These guys don't get points for the first 2 rounds. That's a risk we're willing to take here. They're only gonna be missing points for 2 rounds, but they get to play so many more matches here. Right? Because we expect them to make it through. Basically, with this gamble, with this picks, these picks being made by me, I'm hoping that first of all ends and endpoint are on different sides of this bracket. Very important for this. And I want to reinstate that it's very stupid that we don't know where they are placed before this fantasy goes live, but whatever. It is what it is. What else? Yeah, we are gambling that mostly these teams that were invited are going to do better than those that qualify through this first stage. I think it should be the case for basically teams other than Fiend. It might be that a better, like Fiend is not that. It's making me rethink the Dreamer and Bubble pick, but I am gonna stick with this, I think. I really just hope that Bubble gets surprisingly high stats, I guess. We can go through some boosters. Should we? Or should I wait for the other teams? I guess we can throw some boosters here. I wouldn't do that now. I'm gonna put boosters on later once we know like more of the teams. I think the first 2 rounds Bubble's just not gonna have any boosters. We should have more than enough time to put the boosters on the players, and if I'm not, then that's whatever. I guess I can put this every time. There's no reason not to. And then next round. Oh no, this is just Gorillas. We can actually only put it against Gorillas by now. Okay, we can throw that there. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. I will be making more videos about each of the fantasies coming up once they are announced. Thank you for watching and goodbye.